We are here with a very beautiful Miss Kai Subijano. Hi Kai, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Okay, I'm very good. Okay, Kai, we've noticed, we've heard that you actually worked for a publication. It's a magazine publication. So what are the learnings, the knowledge that you could actually apply in this year's Binibining Pilipinas?
Well, I worked for a local fashion magazine. As you know, it's a very glamorous world as well. I learned to always look groomed. All the time, you always have to look your best because I was representing one of the country's best fashion magazines. So, all the fashion and beauty tips I was definitely able to apply to the pageant world.
Okay, and of course, everybody knows that your sister is a former Binibining Pilipinas. Is that added pressure for you?
I'm sorry?
Is that added pressure for you?
It's added pressure, but at the same time, I look at it as an advantage because, well, people talk about me, and as a candidate for Binibining Pilipinas, it's important to get people talking about you. So I think of it as an advantage since people are looking at me. The challenge is, what am I going to do since all the attention's on me?
And okay, Kai, so far, how do you think you are faring in the competition? What is your stand on the competition?
Well, I feel very confident, but at the same time, I know that I'm competing with girls who've been in several other pageants at the same. It's my very first pageant, if you don't know, and I feel very confident. I try not to compare myself to the other girls. I always monitor my own progress, and I'm happy to say that I'm progressing very well.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Kai, and it's a pleasure to be able to talk to you. Hi, Samantha. How are you doing now that fashion show is over?
It was very exciting, and I was looking forward to interacting with the crowd, and I'm just happy that I got to perform as much as I did.
And is it your first fashion show experience?
As a matter of fact, it is, yes.
And so far, what are the best experiences about joining Binibining Pilipinas? We'd like to hear from you.
It's definitely building new bridges, getting new friends, and getting to learn from them as well.
What about time management in the pageant? You get here for the areneta for early schedules, for early call times. How are you managing your time so far?
I'm always on time, fortunately, and I make a point to be on time because I'm very professional, and if I'm going to be a queen, of course, I have to set a good example.
What about if we were going to ask you who are your top three, excluding yourself? Who would that be and why?
That's for me to know. And I would like to keep it as a secret because I think all of the girls are possible and potential contenders.
Okay, thank you so much and have a good night. Okay, we are here with a very statuesque Miss Jet Noguchi. First and foremost, how's your feet right now that it's been 2 weeks almost since the last time I talked to you? How's it?
It's getting a lot better. Thank you for asking.
And of course, Jet, the recent calamity which happened in Japan yesterday. What are your thoughts? What are your initial reactions?
Of course, it's first sadness. It's an absolute tragedy, and I believe that it is the biggest earthquake in Japan in the last 100 years. It struck at a magnitude of 8.9. Many people were displaced from their homes. Water has been cut, electricity. I just want to offer my thoughts and my prayers to all the people in Japan, and of course the surrounding countries, including our own. There are over 200,000 OFWs in Japan right now, so I do ask that everyone please lift up the people in Japan and all of the victims.
Okay, our viewers would like to know which particular area, place in Japan are you from?
I have some ancestors and distant relatives on the island of Kyushu.
And what are your best memories of Japan?
Unfortunately, I've never been to Japan. My father is third generation American, but I do hope that after all of this calamity that I will be able to make that trip someday.
Okay, and what about in terms of the Binibini experience so far? How are you doing? We'd like to know how are your experiences so far?
Oh, it's been so unforgettable. I'm learning so many different things and just having so much fun, making all these wonderful memories and wonderful friends. I really do believe that this is the strongest batch, and I am just surrounded by so many wonderful, lovely young ladies, and it's really an honor and privilege to be a part of Binibining Pilipinas.
And aside from yourself, who do you think are the top contenders of this year's Binibini? We'd asked a few candidates already, and they already named their top contenders. Who are your top contenders, Jet?
That's really hard to do because You know, we had to increase the number of candidates from 24 to 40 just because there are so many beautiful ladies here. It's really hard to name. I consider everyone a top competitor. We are all winners.
Thank you so much, Miss Jet Noguchi.